Hello, I'm Brigantia Blackbird of the Blackbird Grimoire. Welcome to the daily forecast for Tuesday, October 1st, 2024, the 10th of Libra. We made it, gang. We had to wait all year. We had to go through that ghastly summer, which, to be fair, a lot of it was pretty mild. But, towards the end, there were those weeks in September when it was just unreasonably hot. And I feel like everyone was getting a bit frazzled and tired and was just sick of it. But now, at least in most areas of the country, we are beyond that. It is time to relax. We have changing leaves, we have cooling temperatures, we are back into soup weather. Everything is so much better. And for those of us lucky enough to practice the craft, I'm sure, like myself, you're also feeling how the atmosphere is beginning to just crackle with magical energies. So, on that note, also, I want to offer a warm welcome to any new subscribers who've come in the last month. Hope you enjoy it here. I appreciate you giving me the confidence of hitting that subscribe button. And I also want to give a huge thank you to those people who leave comments, leaves likes on the videos, especially those who do it consistently, practically day in, day out. That is very much appreciated because it is only with those like buttons and those comments that there's an opportunity for there to be an exchange between me and you and to give me an idea about whether or not anything I'm presenting is resonating with you or if it's useful to you or, whatever the case may be. It's that back and forth. And I do really appreciate it because I know that a lot of people are pulling back. I know, and I see this on a lot of different channels. There's a lot more. There's always more viewers than there are likers or commenters, but there are a lot of people out there. They're starting to treat YouTube, especially the way we treated television back in the day. When there was no opportunity for immediate communication back and forth between creator and viewer. And I do notice that a lot of people are doing that. I notice that even people are doing that on Twitter. They'll notice posts, but they give no feedback, no reaction, no anything, and that's very difficult. So I really do appreciate the people who do make the effort to communicate at least a little bit. And as you can see, we have changed things up a little bit with our graphics this month for the presentation slides. Um, we have good morning ghouls because it is October, and when else does a person get to say that with any credibility? And you'll notice that our little mascots of the day have changed as well. Today, I've decreed to be the day of the Frankenstein monster. And the reason why I chose the Frankenstein monster for Tuesdays is because of just how combative the energy of Tuesdays is on a daily basis. And because the themes of the Frankenstein story, it deals a lot with natural laws. What ones can you cross? What ones can be bent? What ones need to be really left alone and just honored and respected? How far is too far with a scientific augmentation? What it becomes of those who are essentially the text subjects for this kind of experimentation and inquiry. It brings up a whole lot of those feelings, and would that's why I felt like Frankenstein's monster was really the perfect fit. Also, you'll notice that with the pagan calendar, I have simplified things. I'm just mentioning that what day it is of Libra, and I'm doing that because the zodiac calendar, as we know it, is probably the most familiar from the non mundane standard calendar that we're all familiar with. So I thought, maybe focusing upon that, might yield better fruitage. So, anyways, let me know what you think and let's get into this, gang. So, to begin with, for our planetary astrology, we have the Sun in Libra, a cardinal air sign representing justice. The Moon is fourth quarter Virgo, mutable water, which is to accomplish details. At 4:39 p.m. Central Time, the Moon will go void, of course. At 5:20 p.m. Central Time, it will enter fourth quarter Libra, a cardinal air sign representing partnerships. Mercury is in Libra, cardinal air representing visionaries. Venus is in Scorpio, fixed water, representing passion. Mars is in Cancer, cardinal water, which represents seeking security. Jupiter is in Gemini, mutable air, representing questing. Saturn is retrograding in Pisces, mutable water, which is to redefine dreams. And Uranus is retrograding in Taurus, fixed earth, representing rebellion. Neptune is retrograding in Pisces, mutable water, which is spiritual awakenings. And Pluto is retrograding in Capricorn, cardinal earth, representing transformations. Now for the retrograde reminders. For Saturn, reclaim your authority. For Uranus, reconsider how you rebel. For Neptune, reclaim your magic. For Pluto, reclaim your ability to regenerate. And for Chiron, restore the heroic spirit. We are in a waning crescent, so we are going to be creeping up onto the new moon in just a couple of days. And right now, for this particular moon phase, it is all about taking a well deserved rest. For the Libra moon, the do's are socialize, problem solve, engage in cultural activities, and the don'ts are blind emotionalism, seesawing emotionality, manipulative flattery, all the things that Libra really doesn't like and isn't interested in. So, on this day of Mars, our work week has gone into full swing, but try to maintain a more relaxed frame of mind if you possibly can. Be open to creative suggestions. Be sure to prioritize teamwork for those who actually operate as a team, of course. You know, the people who are your team, but who you're essentially just dragging along, they're not the ones to prioritize right now. It's the people who are walking the talk. And also, another thing that I thought would be helpful is just to make solve the problem your personal mantra for today. Next up, our Halloween Tarot, which is written by Karen Lee and the artist by Kipling West. We're going to be using this tarot deck all month long. It is my very, very favorite, and I hope you enjoy the art style as well. But today, our card is the Three of Pumpkins. For the number three, think beginnings. For the suit of pumpkins, which is essentially the suit of pentacles, think the rational feminine, receptive energy, earth element, and material action. And the keywords for this card are craftsmanship, artistic achievement, and reaping what you've sown. Quite the card to kick off, our very last month into the main, leading up to the last Harvest Festival, I should say. Sorry, I'm stumbling over my words, working on that today. But this is all about focusing upon having a job well done and having something to really show for all of your hard work, and not just making something to where it will do and it will work, but making it beautiful, making it very efficient, making it effective, making it to where it is ticking all of the boxes that creates the human concept of beauty. That is the thing. That is the thing to aim for. It's as much thinking with the practicality of an industrialistness and looking for the beauty and the creativity the way an artist does. It's a very happy marriage in between the two. So, hope you tap into that fuel for your projects today. Then today's Celtic Triad reads. Three things in one who loves good health. Enough sleep at Bealtaine in spring, enough food at Midsummer at midsummer, and enough fire at Gamhadra in the winter. So sleep in the spring. The spring is customarily a time of greatly increased activity, so getting enough rest is vital to keep up the pace, especially if you're doing some more strenuous gardening. Has to happen. If you don't get enough rest in the spring, you're going to be entering the summer on low batteries, and then you're going to kind of probably not so quietly suffer all the way through until you get to fall. Then food in summer. Summer days might be lazy, but we are still expending considerable energy in a variety of activities. Fuel is really necessary to us at this time, even if that fuel tends to be a bit on the lighter side. It still needs to be fully present because we're going to be going outside. We're going to be doing all of these things, and so that's not going to happen just by itself. And then fire in winter. The need for warmth in winter is pretty obvious. Heat ensures continued life, all very straightforward. And a lot of these things that the triads have been mentioning in relation to human health, it is pretty obvious stuff. But so many of us suck at actually doing them. So that's probably something worth us thinking about a little bit about whether or not we could do better when attending to our personal health. And a lot of times it isn't about, seeing what the latest research is or what current health craze is taking the world by storm or anything like that. More often than not, we just need to do the blindingly obvious common sense things. Then today's magical correspondences, you will notice that for our color today, it is kind of a spooky heart, biological heart-shaped candle. So look for the colors to also correspond with the various Samhain and Halloween decorations. Thought it'd be a fun thing to do this month. But the theme for today is leadership. The color is red. The plant is the maple tree. The animal is the wolf, and the crystal is ruby. When it comes to leadership, true leadership is always going to involve rendering considerable service. Otherwise, leadership is just someone who declares themselves to be in charge. It's a guise for tyranny, and they usually behave pretty terribly, and people don't get anything out of that person essentially throwing their weight around. So if you're in a position of leadership or you are thinking that's a quality you want to pursue within yourself, these are a few things to just keep in mind. The world does not need any more tyrants for sure. And perhaps by meditating on that, it can help you hone your skills so that if you are needing to take the lead in any context, maybe at work, maybe, you've been designated a leader of a particular project, it can help you uh, handle and shoulder that responsibility with grace and dignity and focus upon, the job at hand, what needs to be done, what needs to be accomplished, and how to encourage people along that path instead of, well, becoming a damn nuisance, to put it bluntly. Then for today's practices, it's Tuesday, so practice self sovereignty. Use your own creativity about what that happens to mean for you. If there's an area of your life in which you have not been seizing the reins, and really it is for you to do so, this is the day to start a new pattern. And then, as you can probably guess from our lovely artwork over there, point of contemplation for today is what is the symbolism of Dr. Frankenstein and his creature? There's a lot of layers to peel back on that one. And then, in what way is your personality resembling the energy of Mars? And then another thing I would invite you to think about is, what does Martian wisdom consist of? And now, when I'm talking Martian, I'm not talking about little green men and sci-fi from the 50s. I'm talking about the energy and the wisdom that is particular to that energy that is represented and symbolized by Mars. What can that teach you? What can it teach you about leadership, about rulership, about the warrior spirit, about a lot of different things. Just see where you can delve into with that one. And then, because Tuesday's a feisty day, you might want to channel your energy in such a way that if you get to feeling a bit too sassy, you can use that as fuel for something instead of getting into needless trouble. And if you're feeling like picking on someone, is there perhaps a more productive project you could do instead? We don't always have to get into every form of trouble we're liable to get into. And that's really all. And then for today's journaling prompt, we have a very lovely witch who is asking, who is in charge of your spiritual practice? Be honest, dig deep. I'm putting this prompt forward as a challenge because so often I think people are phoning it in a little bit. They're concerned with the opinions of other people as opposed to what do I actually think, what do I actually believe based upon what I've learned, what I've been teaching myself, and what I can observe from nature because sometimes people are led by the crowd, sometimes they're led by the current fashion. There's a lot of different things that can ultimately result in someone not being in charge of their spiritual life. Even something as simple as about whether or not they dare exit that broom closet. If you have relationships in your life, and in order to maintain those relationships, you can't be honest about what you actually think, what you actually believe. I would submit you are on a road for that relationship to have considerable problems, especially if they ever find out about the real you, because they are going to rightly consider themselves deceived. And most people are in no mood for that, especially these days. So it's something to think about. It's something to think about. Do you want other people to really dictate these things to you? Are you really listening to people's arguments, or are you just submitting to personalities perhaps a bit more forceful than your own? So have fun with that, dears. And on that note, I wish you a very magical and delightfully spooky day. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comment section. And I, of course, will see you guys in the next one.